Pat.
Yeah.
3-8, fourth in the AFC West. We just lost. We got blown out in Carolina.
Yeah.
Where are you at right now?
You know, I want to say I'm checked out. I want to say that I am just looking on to the off season. I want to say all those things. However, there's still a chance that this team could finish above 500, win 6 games in a row, just rail off 6 games.
Rail them.
But the likelihood of that happening is slim to none. Where I'm at is I'm pretty much in the same boat as everybody else. I'm confused. I'm a little distraught. I'm saddened by a lot of the things that are going on, and overall, like, I'm just really disappointed. You know, this was a season where we came into it thinking, you know what, we're quarterback away. We got a new coach. You know, he's going to come in with all these great ideas and these brilliant schemes, and he's got a great coaching staff around him. And oh my God, we got Russell Wilson in the bag. It's not the case. So I think the confusion is, where did it all go wrong? What is the problem? And like, my biggest question right now is not, you know, who are we going to take in the first round of the draft? That's not my biggest question. My biggest question is not who's the next coach of the Denver Broncos going to be. That's not my biggest question. My biggest question is, who are the guys that are still going to be on this team next year, and who are the guys that are going to want to come to this team next year? Because of all the things that we've heard from Seahawks players and coaches and writers and fans and all that stuff, why would anybody want to come to the Denver Broncos when Russell Wilson is here? There's players inside right now that are talking about not returning to the team because of what is going on. And that is where I'm like, I'm scared. I'm nervous. I'm confused. What is going on? Where did this whole idea of culture and, you know, rebuilding everything go to lead us to this point? That's where I'm at.
Do you think this is all on Russ, though?
No, absolutely not. I don't think that this is all on Russ, and I think the majority of it isn't even on Russ. I think that there's things that can both be true, right? The one thing that can be true is Russell Wilson is a diva quarterback in the NFL. He is a very attention-seeking person who loves to have the limelight on him. And then there's also just inept coaching. And both of those things can be true. I do not think, though, that all of these issues are on Russell Wilson. I think that there are major things that Russ can do to play better. I think that there's major things that he can do as a player on the field and in the locker room that can change a lot. But I don't think that this is all on him. Before the season, we all remember the press conference, right? We all remember Nathaniel Hackett coming in, pumped up, juiced, fired up, whatever adjective you want to use. And then the first thing that he said that really struck me was, you know, we're going to base all of this on outside zone. How much outside zone have we run? Because it's not a lot. And I can tell you right now, it is not a lot. It's not a lot. And that was my biggest concern going into the season with backs. Like Javonte could be an outside zone guy. Melvin Gordon, not an outside zone guy. Never has been, never will be. Not an outside zone guy. And people fought me on Twitter about that. Oh, he could play in any sit. No, he can't. And we saw it, and he threw away multiple games. You know, and then on top of that, you put all the injuries and stuff together. It's just been a mess from the get-go. So my biggest confusion is just like, where did it all go wrong? Like, what was it? I don't know.
Yo, Broncos country straight up has whiplash. Like
For real.
we came in to the season so excited, like so much change. We came from so much sadness, and we changed it all. Like new ownership, crazy, awesome. New coach, awesome. New Russell Wilson. What? You kidding me? That's nuts. You hear the little things about like, I coming from Seattle, you hear little things about Russ being, kind of cheesy, whatever, maybe a little bit of a diva, but that like got exemplified when he came over.
Yeah.
Like he just started doing even more cheesy stuff where it just kind of like became like just nothing but national media. And you get real annoyed with it, and you're like, but that's fine because he's going to produce. He's going to go out there and he's going to be at least top 15 QB, and that's all we need because we know we're going to have a good defense.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Russ doesn't know what his reads are still, it looks like. He can't see the middle of the field, which is something that everyone talked about coming into it. And it's funny because like the scheme that he could be best at, which it being under center and using play action to pull the safeties in to get single high as much as possible. Well, the problem is when you're shorter, the center is the hardest to see at, and you're now closer to the line than if you were back at shotgun. I mean, how much did Drew Brees start out at shotgun? A lot more. He had a little bit more room to move back. It's not happening. So what Russ is good at, he's worst at. And now you have Hackett coming in here who can scheme receivers open. Okay, occasionally.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. And so you got this battle now that they don't want to probably admit because, I'm sure both of them are frustrated.
Yep.
And then you get these situational play calls that are just absolute trash from Hackett. So now Peyton eventually was like, you know what? Nah. Kubiak, you call the plays. So you see a little bit better, but then Russ is still also a factor where it's just absolute trash.
Yeah.
And then everybody gets hurt at the same time. So it's just like a combination of so many things that at this part, you're just kind of like, you come into it like, yeah. And then you're like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
It's actually trash. Yeah. So now we are all kind of just in a daze, I think. I think Broncos country as a whole is just like, I don't know what to do anymore. Like, I don't think any of my opinions are validated outside of not good. Because there's so many things that we can argue about what the issues are. And it's just, man, it's a weird place to be. Like, even if you're a Texans fan, your team is hot garbage, but potentially a rebuild's coming and you're going to get some high draft picks. You're going to, do some cool stuff, maybe see what's down the pipeline.
Don't have a rapist on your team anymore.
Don't have that. Yes. Well, unfortunately, we still have Russ until at least 2025. And I know there's people that are talking about the potential of getting rid of him. That's going to be rough when you do.
Yep.
I mean, if you're going to do that, the best case scenario is going to be trading him and at least maybe like catch some of that dead cap, like pass a little bit of that off, pass a little bit back of the contract, maybe make some deals and maybe get some draft capital out of it. But you're still going to be eating a lot of cash. Yeah. And it's, man, I don't know anymore.